Hi, I'm Anne-Marie Lofaso. I'm an associate professor of law here at West Virginia University College of Law, and I am the co-editor with my colleague, Dre Cummings, on the forthcoming book, Reversing Field, Examining Commercialization, Labor, Gender, and Race in 21st Century Sports Law. The book project has been very exciting because it's pretty broad. The book covers, as the title suggests, the commercialization of sports law, the labor issues in sports law, which include the use of performance-enhancing drugs, as well as the use of economic weapons such as the strike. It also includes issues about race and issues about gender. The book contains over 30 contributions, including those of former West Virginia University President David Hardesty, New Mexico Professor of Law Alfred Mathewson, Sherry Burr, who's an expert in sports and entertainment law, and she has a very provocative piece on the commercialization of the athlete as celebrity. We have Barbara Osborne from University of North Carolina, and many others from all across the country who've contributed to this really interesting, unique, very broad perspective on sports law in the 21st century. We're very fortunate to have John Carlos write the foreword to the book. John Carlos, as you may recall, was one of the athletes at the 1968 Olympics he won the bronze medal in one of the track and field events, and he put up his fist like that on the awards podium, and he's written our foreword. So we're very excited about that because he obviously has a lot to say about commercialization and race, at the very least, in sports law. We also are very fortunate to have several wonderful contributors. For example, Dr. Julian Bales, who's here at the university, wrote a piece about what the brain on steroids looks like. And he had the unique opportunity of dissecting several brains of athletes who were known steroid users, and he concluded that their brains look like the brains of Alzheimer's patients. So that's pretty interesting evidence that would tend to suggest that perhaps athletes shouldn't be using steroids. But we go into that debate and whether or not athletes should be using performance-enhancing drugs, and we have people like David Cornwell, who's a sports agent, talk about some of the controversy from the other side. We also are very fortunate to have Deborah Brake's piece, which talks about the invisible pregnant athlete. And it questions why pregnant athletes are treated differently than temporarily disabled male athletes, at least at the college level. This is a pretty exciting piece because it challenges our notions of who the athlete is. We're also fortunate to have some contributions from Bill Gould, who was the chairman of the board in the the chairman of the National Labor Relations Board in the mid-90s, and Dennis Walsh, who was also at the board in the mid-90s during the 1994-1995 baseball strike. Now, as you probably know, the National Labor Relations Board is the government agency that gets involved in labor disputes. And so we have firsthand accounts of what happened during the 1994-95 baseball strike. Of course, sports fans of all different types of sports will want to read this book, but I think this book will have a much broader appeal. It will appeal to feminists, to people who study race issues, to sociologists, to people who are just interested in society, because sports is really a microcosm of society. And we often know who the players are, so it makes it even more interesting to read about. I think that law schools will adopt this book, in particular sports law courses, maybe some labor law courses, but also undergraduate courses in sociology, feminism, critical race studies, and just sports fans in general. My name is Anne-Marie Lofaso. I'm a professor at West Virginia University College of Law, and my book, Reversing Field, comes out this October.